cultural appropriation is wrong. Just kidding. Among the many and powerful advantages there are to being a white person nowadays, and also forever, not having an interesting, if any, culture is our biggest weakness. Being white is boring, in the greatest of ways, but boring. So some of us have to go borrow things from other cultures to make ourselves feel more cultured. And since when is it racist to be cultured? If a white model dons a traditional, historically accurate Japanese geisha outfit for a photo shoot, it's racist? It's correct. If she went up there and wore Asian slant-eye makeup pretending to have radiation poisoning, I'd understand the cries of insensitivity, but this was basically just a Halloween costume that happened to be spot on. But they didn't get a Japanese model to wear it. Only Japanese people are allowed to wear robes with flowers on them, you fucking idiot. It's celebrate diversity, not segregate diversity. No cultural overlap whatsoever, bro. Keep your Asian shit over here and your white people shit over here. I watch and enjoy anime. Does that make me racist? If I cosplayed as my favorite anime character, would that make me racist? Do white people even know what racist means anymore? Does anyone? The defining qualities of racist are feelings of superiority and discrimination. Fucking look it up. Without these two things, the word doesn't exist. That's why when an elementary school kid with a deep appreciation of Martin Luther King Jr. and everything he accomplished and stood for wears blackface to do a school presentation celebrating those achievements, it's not racist. You just don't like it because you're uneducated and don't know what words mean. It really is that simple. That's why it's impossible to be accidentally racist. You can't accidentally think you're better than someone because of your ethnicity versus theirs. Racist jokes are still racist if they're based from the idea of those two qualities, superiority and discrimination, but of course that doesn't make the person telling them racist if they don't actually believe what they're saying. By the way, there's no such thing as reverse racism. Yeah. It's just called racism. If a black guy hates white people, discriminates against them with his attitude, and feels he is better than them, that's good old-fashioned racism. Reverse racism would be like if you viewed a different race of people as superior and treated them different in a better way because of who they are. If you go out of your way to be nice to black people because you think they're better than us, that's reverse racism, and it's really weird. These aren't alternative facts. Hashtag fake news, I'm spewing out, okay? This is a logical deconstruction of dictionary definitions. If you disagree with it, go right to Merriam-Webster and ask them to amend some shit. It would be stupid, but you could do it. As far as our culture goes today, there is one glaringly prominent reason that outshines all others as to why white supremacists are retarded. It's not the hatred of other ethnicities. That's a close second. It's a lack of knowledge when it comes to their own. People think white people not knowing or caring to know about other cultures is racist, but I can prove to you it isn't, because we know equally nothing about other versions of our own kind. Give me 5 facts about Greek people, Danes, Finnish, Swedish, Dutch, Swiss, Irish, fucking Icelandic. You can't. Even Brazil's population is 53% white. I'll be the first to say there's too many of us, but there's also too many of everyone. There are so many subspecies of whites that fly completely under the radar to all other whites that white supremacy is a jovial, wholehearted practice of ignorance. White people are superior. Have you been to Reykjavik? No, but we assume they are too. It's not just white people that are culturally ignorant. I'm willing to bet the average Hispanic person doesn't know everything about Guatemala, Paraguay, Honduras, Ecuador. There are 48 countries in Asia. You think Jackie Chan could write a history book on all of them? Cultural awareness is only an issue if you're dealing with somebody from said culture. I'm American. You can make a case for why I should learn Spanish, but don't expect me to pick up Arabic anytime soon unless you have a very dystopian view of our future. But yeah, so many white people are a mystery to us. I got a donation on stream recently of DKK50. That's 50 Danish crowns, which is spelled Krone, but it's pronounced crown, and I'm typing it as crown to avoid confusing myself. It equates to $7.14, but it just sounds so fucking cool. To be given crowns as currency, like I'm a sovereign king? I mean, how many crowns can I fit on my head before I'm like, that's enough? That currency is in circulation in Denmark, Iceland, someplace called the Faroe Islands, and Norway. Norway, you guys! So what do I, a fellow light-skinned member of this race, know about Norway in my 22 years of being? I think it has jagged cliff sides? That's what comes to mind. That is borderline offensively uninformed. Another guy in my chat was literally living in Greece, not 3,000 years ago, currently. That shouldn't blow my mind, but I still think, despite my own brain telling me, of course not, that Greece is a land of living, effectual gods and goddesses, where people still wear platform sandals and carry around bunches of grapes. To me, Greece is a place where you go to a temple of Zeus, bow your head in front of a statue and pray for some bullshit, and Zeus's spirit will fly out of the stone and actually talk to you. I think God of War is based on a true story. That's where I'm at mentally with the idea of Athens and Sparta. I'm going to go back on a previous point I made in this video to say this. White people cultures are fascinating, if you find the right ones. White bread, vanilla, cracker, all these words used by non-whites saying we're plain, uninteresting, uncultured. You're straight up incorrect, sir. Immerse yourself in Greek mythology, Norse mythology, Vikings coming out of Scandinavia, the first pirates coming out of Turkey. White people have a lot of cool, enthralling global destruction under our belts. It's all worth a read. I'm inspired to learn more about my seemingly hundreds of cultural brothers and sisters. Then once my research thoroughfare is complete, I'll have the only definitive, authoritative stance in the world on the validity of white supremacy. I'll let you know when I come to a conclusion. I've said before that I like Asian girls. Doesn't really matter what country, they all have beautiful, weird, scary women in them. Asian girls intimidate me. Ideally, you want a second-generation girlfriend who speaks good English, whose parents also speak good English, because Asian parents that do not speak good English are the scariest people in the world, and can also get your tow truck delayed by 7 hours because they can't pronounce the hiking spot we're at. You haven't lived until you've spent 4 p.m. to midnight in the trunk of a 60-year-old Chinese man's car because his daughter's car broke down in the middle of nowhere with barely cell service. I felt like I was being child trafficked to an Asian businessman's retreat to be used by them in ways we can only imagine. Then I rode home in the passenger seat of a semi-truck, what seatbelt was loose, and the door wouldn't stay shut, so I had already mentally said my goodbyes. It's hard to meet Asian girls because most of their Tinder accounts are spam or catfishing, or just pictures of an octopus. I've never had an Asian girlfriend because my life is filled to the brim with regrets, so I've never met one's parents confrontationally and become hyper-aware of what a letdown I am to them. It must be nerve-wracking to stand there and feel disappointment piercing your soul, like you could probably see it in their eyes if they opened them a little more. That's always the stigma, right? Asian parents always annoyed at the idea of a white boyfriend, or God forbid a Korean one. You know Russian girls are technically Asian girls, only even more intimidating because they're all gorgeous ballet dancers and spies. Not like those trashy house-cleaning Ukrainians, am I right? I'm just trying to build rapport with Russians in case they start making lists of who to kill over here. Maybe they'll send me a mail-order bride. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I'll play myself off.